You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the January 12th meeting for the Long Beach Town Council. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Welcome, everyone, to the January Long Beach Town Council meeting. Let's please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Meg, could you please do a roll call?
President Joy Schmidt,
Here.
Colleen Lane,
Here.
Cindy Levy,
Here.
Kendra Bartlett,
Here.
Anita Remigis,
Present.
Chief Swistek,
Present.
Attorney Willoughby,
Present.
Clerk Collins, I am present, and that concludes roll.
Thank you. I have one opening remark. We're going to add to the agenda the Sender Dalton contract to be renewed for this year. I'll add that to the end of new business. Next up on the agenda is election of officers.
I would like to make a motion to appoint Joyce Schmidt as president of the Long Beach Town Council.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I
I guess
humbly accept your nomination.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I would like to nominate Anita Remigis as the vice president. for
I will
2026.
second that.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
I also humbly accept
Thank
your half-hearted
you.
proposal.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda, which is the approval of the minutes from the special council meeting of December 29th, the building revenue report for December 2025, the legal expenses paid to Brady Nelson Janes in December, the accounting expenses paid to Sender Dalton, the remainder of the December town checks, the water checks, the December payroll, the combined bank reconciliation, and the quarterly memo, which audits the CAP follow-up.
I would make that motion to accept the to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Now we will have public comments, which will be limited to 3 minutes. Do we have any public comments in the audience? Please go to the podium and turn on the microphone.
It's green. What do I have to do?
It's on.
Oh, okay, it's on.
Okay. Okay, great. I'm Melanie Davis. I live at 2925 Lothair Way here in Long Beach. And I would like to introduce the topic of a reconsideration of the leaf removal in our town. I have spoken with Meg just to get a little bit of an idea of where we are on this and what's going on. And I talked with Chief Swistek today. And my understanding is that there has been discussion and that there was a decision last month. I think that's the case. And that there will be an additional week added in March or whenever the spring cleanup is. My point of view is that there are drainage hazards and there are also just slipping and ice and one thing or another, that having the leaves encroaching on our thoroughfares is a problem. I walked some of our town today. Chief mentioned that I think you indicated that perhaps west of a certain point of view or section of town that the leaves had been removed. I walked specifically on Foxdale, Oriole, Belle Plaine, Montclair, Hermoine, and many others in the quadrant where I live. And there are leaves everywhere. So I think, number one, it is a hazard. And I think it is also not fitting for our town to look so shabby for nothing, for no lack of a better way to describe it, but it's more a matter of safety that I would like to advocate that there be now, whether it's a tree company, whether it's Dan Healy, whoever it might be, that we reconsider, that you reconsider where we stand on this issue and ASAP before further snow comes in, that the leaves that exist are removed. So I suggest a 2-day cleanup, although there are probably people who know better than I, or perhaps as an alternative for anybody who needs to remove leaves to present their invoices to the town. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Any more comments in the audience? Do we have any comments on Zoom? Hearing none, we'll move on to committee reports. Police Department Chief.
Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. The Long Beach Police Department in the month of December responded to 304 calls for service when compared to 335 in the previous year, for a slight decrease of 31 calls. During the month of December, 13 incident reports were documented. A total of 7 individuals were arrested, 1 felony arrest for resisting law enforcement, 4 misdemeanor arrests for driving with a suspended driver's license, 1 misdemeanor arrest for operating a motor vehicle without ever receiving a driver's license, and 1 warrant arrest for possession of marijuana. No major concerns to pass along. Due to the cold and the snow, things were pretty average for the month of December. Year in review, just want to spend a moment reviewing 2025. In total, the police department responded to 4,562 calls for service when compared to 4,575 calls in 2024, for a decrease of 13 calls of service. In total, there were 115 individuals arrested when compared to 77 arrests in 2024, for an increase of 38 arrests. There were 20 felony arrests, 88 misdemeanor arrests, and 7 warrant arrests. The Long Beach Police Department Reserves, which is our volunteer unit, volunteered a total of 1,008 hours, which is, when you take that number and use it what we would normally pay for our part-time deputies, is a savings to the town of approximately $43,000. This is a huge savings to the police department. This unit is a tremendous help to the police department, bringing more visibility and assistance to us, especially over the summer and holiday weekends. The dedication of the reserve unit that they have to not only the town, but to the police department does not go unnoticed. And again, I'd like to personally thank each and every volunteer that we have. Their contributions last year were greatly appreciated. We did hold a police commission meeting back on December 18th. All commissioners were present. Under old business, we discussed the sale of the previous police boat, which is our 1997 Boston Whaler. It was sold at the open public bid process for $7,000 to the Junior Explorer Boating Academy in Chicago. We updated the commissioners on the 4 license plate reader cameras that are in the final stage of installation. The camera on Moore Road near Notre Dame, and the camera on Lakeshore Drive just west of our boundary. Both of those cameras have been installed, and the other 2 cameras should be installed over the next 2 weeks. Under new business, we discussed the new police boat, the grant that we received from FEMA. Currently, Clerk Collins and I are working through some logistics with the grant funders. There's been a hold placed on the funding, and we're trying to work through those details. Due to the government shutdown last year and a few other things that have been going on in the federal government, I think there's some either confusion going on or some delays there. So we're waiting to get an answer back from them. Talked about the 2026 ATV purchase, which the council approved back on December 29th. Again, thank you to the Long Beach Civic Association for their donation of $4,000 towards the purchase. We discussed our new reserve deputy marshals, that being Kara Reeder and Brian Sullivan. So now our reserve deputy marshal unit went from 5 members to 7 members. The 2026-2027 new police vehicle was discussed with the commissioners. That will be brought before the town council more than likely in the second or third quarter of this year, because there is some lead time on ordering the vehicle before we would receive it. The 5-year capital plan for the town calls for the vehicle to be purchased in 2027. So we'll be presenting that information probably towards the midpoint of this year. Talked about our policy updates that are continuing, the Modern Woodman Awards that the Reserve Deputy Marshal Unit received, and then discussed our portable radio replacement. There were no public comments, no commissioner comments, and the meeting concluded at approximately 3:25 that day. And that's all I have unless there's any questions.
I do have a quick question. On your incident report summary, you make reference to state-funded traffic grants, December 9th with Corporal Farthing, and on December 29th with Deputy Vopat.
Yes.
And yes, I was just curious about those. Both of them were to combat impaired driving. I just was curious whether those are given to different communities, whether that's a state grant that you reach out to. I mean,
Great question. The traffic safety grant is both state and federal funds. They are managed by the LaPorte County Sheriff's Department. So any LaPorte County agency is eligible to participate in the state-funded grants. We receive 100% reimbursement for any of the overtime that is worked in these traffic grant programs. Currently, the state of Indiana had changed that program, and now, rather than time and a half, the officers that participate in the grant on the overtime funding receive double pay for the hours that they work. All of that pay, we pay the officers up front on their biweekly paycheck. And then after that, we seek reimbursement from the county, and then the county auditor sends us a check monthly to reimburse the town. So 100% reimbursement. In fact, this last pay period, Deputies Vopat and Corporal Farthing both worked the traffic safety grant last week, and they each worked 6 hours of overtime. So we'll be reimbursed for that overtime that was spent last week. We'll receive it in the month of February. So, but the stats that they put forth, there are a lot of intoxicated drivers, suspended drivers, a lot of traffic enforcement occurs, and it's a great program because it also provides an extra officer on duty for the town that the town doesn't have to pay for, that the grant funds cover 100% of the cost.
and just another quick comment. I know that Chief Mr. Albers, Chief Albers, what do I refer? Chief Albers, you referred to. Oh, okay, fine. You refer to mutual aid, and I saw that the last week, just on my own block, where there was an incident where Long Beach police were there, but there were also 2 Michigan City police cars, and were very helpful. And it was just, it's nice to see the backup. It's nice to see the mutual aid. There was no danger to anybody, but it was nice just to see that there they were and working together.
Thank you. Town Administrator, Chief.
Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna message Zoom.
I was wondering, I was going to ask Meg to call Chris because we have nobody.
Well, that would explain why nobody's on Zoom.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Meg, can you check with Chris? Because he zooms in, right?
Meg, I wonder,
She might, I don't, okay.
Here's Meg. Maybe Chris texted her.
About the Zoom link being bad?
Yeah.
I was gonna mention like.
It's on. Yeah, I just fixed it. So hopefully people will try if they try to get back on. If
All right. I just need a second here. I'm going
my
to,
husband to test.
I'm going to restart it. It started initially.
Recording in progress.
Hang on one second.
You should do public comments.
Did someone let you know, Mark? Okay.
Recording stopped.
That's why.
Recording in progress.
Meg, I just used the link that popped up on the controller. Maybe give it a minute. Let's see if anybody tries to join. That would explain why nobody was on there when I initially
I
looked. But
know, sorry.
it opened up fine and it was recording. Here we go. Now it seems to be letting people in. Yep, looks like it's working now.
What's going on?
Okay, we have our first one that joined.
So we have people on Zoom.
One right now.
Joy, you may need to
Okay, I apologize for our Zoom problem. Anyone on Zoom, but we'll go back to, does anyone on Zoom have public comments?
There's more coming in. There's two more.
Okay. Hearing none, well,
Maybe give it after we go through some of the committee reports, maybe we could ask again.
okay. Chief, Town Administrator.
Just a couple of things on the town facilities. Last week, the sump pump, after the heavy rains that we experienced, the sump pump here at the town hall went out in the basement. Thankfully, we were down there for unrelated reason and noticed that we were taking on some water near the sump pump pit. And a big thank you to H&G Plumbing, who immediately came out within 3 hours, replaced the sump pump, and then the water began to leave our basement. So that's been repaired. We had another toilet that needed to be repaired in the building. Again, when the fixtures are starting to get 22 years plus, we're starting to have more and more maintenance issues. Employee annual performance evaluations have gone out to all the department heads, asking that the annual performance appraisals for each employee be returned no later than April 1st. The salt storage building, myself and Street Superintendent Tom Dolph are still working through the received quotes for that particular project. I've got some questions out to a couple of the contractors. No decisions obviously have been made as of yet. We hope to bring this in front of the council no later than your March meeting, asking to move that project forward. And then lastly, I know Ellen may touch on it, but a tree update. They started the parks today. Not yet on the trees in the town. I'm still waiting for Maple City Tree Service to begin the work on the trees within the town's right of way. But aside from that, nothing new to pass on. Oh, and then snowplow operations. I spoke to Superintendent Dolph today. They spent all of last week going through all of our trucks, all of our salt spreaders. Everything's been inspected, greased, and all of the machinery is working at 100%. So we're ready for the upcoming snow here this week.
That's good because I think it's coming Wednesday.
It's a common.
It's a coming. Volunteer Fire Department, Dave.
Wasn't there a song,
It's a common.
It's a Coming? Was that Music Man? Never mind.
It might be.
Are we coming?
Around the Mountain would. This is the actually full year report for the Long Beach Fire Department. Activity through the end of the year. Fire calls. We stand at 108 for the year, and that's in comparison to 93 last year. It's a 16% increase. For the month of December, we had a hazardous condition call, a good intent call, 2 false alarms, and I double checked this watercraft rescue, and I think it's miscoded because we had a gentleman that was up in a cherry picker for about 6 hours. Actually, it was the last council meeting. And they called us probably after 5 hours. And that's when Michigan City came out with their equipment to help us. So I think it's miscoded as watercraft rescue. For the year itself, I'm looking at it. We had 5 incidents that were coded as fires, 2 trash fires, a overpressure or overheating of electrical equipment, 28 hazardous conditions, 4 good intent, 61 false alarms, 1 search, and there were some other watercraft rescues for the year. And the average turnout per call still stands at 7 members. We switched to the medical side. We're just a few under last year. We finished this year off at 117. That's in comparison to 120 last year. 115 of those calls have been in Long Beach, 1 Duneland, and 1 Michiana Shores. In the month of December itself, we had a heart attack call, respiratory call, 2 personal injuries, 3 sick persons, and 4 lift assists. For the year, unfortunately, we had a full arrest, 2 heart attacks, 13 respiratory, 32 personal injuries, no births, sick person, 43, 1 seizure, 4 unconscious victims, 1 possible suicide, 1 vehicle accident, possible drowning, 1, welfare check, 1, lift assist, 15, and a medical alert, 2. Turnout of members for the medical call stands at 4. Our average response for fire is 4.5 minutes. Medical is 5.08. Members have donated for 20 and 25 a total of 3,290 hours to the town. A few other things I just want to make note of. One is over the years, when the fire department came under various criticism of misinformation, people were saying, oh, the fire department they get all this money personally. They have retirement programs. Well, it just so happens tonight, our treasurer gave me my annual allotment of $200. And this is all we get. That's all we want. It is a state mandated minimum that volunteer fire departments must give to their members. And so I just thought it's appropriate. I'm going to bring it up, and we don't want any more. We do it for being the community that we are. So, that's point number 1. Point number 2, I was telling Mark before the meeting, I've been on the department for 42 years. John Wall's been on 47 or 48. Larry's been on for 40 years. The Three Stooges. But this is probably the first time that I have experience, and it's a good thing, that a member of the Long Beach Police Department has wanted to join our department not as a special police officer, but as a firefighter. His wife is also joining. I think she's got firefighter 1 and 2. She's an EMT. They're expecting their first child. But Anita, I know over the years months, we've talked about the relationship between police and fire. That's proof of the pudding. So I think it's great. It's wonderful.
The nice thing is they live nearby in the town of Trail Creek, so the response time would be very, very quick.
Right.
So,
Well, and plus that cross knowledge can come into play too. If he's on the street and something, he can, get things rolling maybe a little quicker. And we have received delivery, and I think it was mentioned last month, for our new engine one, and it's sitting in the bay where the boat was sitting. And we're in the process of, it takes, once you receive delivery of a truck, it takes probably 3-4 months to get equipment transfer, figure out how you're going to use the truck and what capacity, where equipment's going to go. And so I know we, as a department, out of our fundraising funds, had committed 50,000 for this new engine. And we will probably go over that, just with some of the numbers that I'm hearing and seeing. So I just want to give you that piece of information. That concludes my report.
Dave, to your first point on the $200, there's currently a House bill downstate that they're looking to increase that for you. I think it's going to go up to $250.
Oh,
So,
yes.
yeah.
Oh, Lisa.
So I think it's still in committee, but there is actually a House bill, and our local representative, State Representative Randy Novak is one of the sponsors for that particular bill. So,
And there are departments that, I can't think of the technical term, paid on call, but for every call they respond to, they receive X number of dollars. And so some departments reward or I should probably typically town trustees through the governmental system rewards those members on a activity per call basis. So, but we've never wanted to really go any higher. And that's the $200 is what is in our contract with the town. And I think it's been that way for probably 20 years.
What is a good intent call?
It's one, you know what? It's one of those calls where you really can't put it into a category.
Oh,
I mean, it's good intent. We're going to go help somebody. And if it's coming through, is it on the fire or did I say on the medical? It might be, I don't know, wait, where is that?
I think it was that kitten that was in the engine block, in all seriousness.
That
Because
is-
we responded, there was a kitten that was caught up in an engine block, and police and fire.
That's it.
So-
Thank you. It was the day after, right close to where the guy was up in the church.
Right, but the kitten was rescued.
Hit and rescue.
Sergeant
So-
The kitten.
Sergeant Seitz took it to the LaPorte County Animal Shelter after it was
I
rescued.
wish we had a camera of that, because what Mitch had a fishing net, am I right? And he was running around trying to catch. And I think Megan Applegate was helping him. So thank you.
Thank you, Dave. The Fire Commission met on December 18th. We discussed the new engine one replacement arrival. We discussed the possibility of ordering a replacement for engine two. Annual proficiency testing is going on currently in addition to state certification. A new vent fan was put in the gear storage area in the public safety building. And for public outreach, the CPR classes are ongoing.
We had month of December, will be referred to as the month of December forever. We have used that month for a proficiency exam. It's a written test. We then do SCBA testing, donning the gear, equipment locations, just run all the members through. 100% of the members took the written portion. And I mean, it's for this old brain, I sort of told Megan, I said, I went and walked around the trucks before so I could just remember some things. But Matt Weber was our proficiency award winner. And he had the thing that breaks the score or breaks a tie is how fast can you put the gear on? And I think he was at 1 minute and 21 seconds. And to throw all that gear on, more power to him.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Dave. NERC, we have anything, Colleen?
Yes, NERC met on December 18th at 9 a.m. And the commission passed the 2026 budget and set meeting date for the full commission and also the executive board meetings for 2026. The Transportation Committee recommended the adoption of 2 Transportation Improvement Program amendments. The first amendment was for 48 INDOT highway projects using federal funds, and the second amendment was for 20 transit projects using only federal transit funds. Both were passed. And then the Economy and Place Committee recommended that the board adopt a cooperative agreement with the Fort Wayne Housing Authority to participate in the Hoosier Homebuyer Assistance Program. Apparently, the Fort Wayne Housing Authority sponsors this Hoosier Home Buying Assistance Program for the entire state, and NERC entered this agreement with them to provide the Hoosier Housing Authority provides competitive mortgages through HUD, Fannie Mae, and Freddie Mac. They also provide down payment and closing cost assistance towards the purchase of existing homes in eligible counties, which all the counties in NERC are now eligible. So I thought that was interesting. So that's what was discussed.
Thank you. Public Works, Kendra.
Public Works did not meet.
Stormwater Board did not meet, but we're meeting at the end of January for our first quarterly meeting this year. Park Board, Kendra.
Park Board did not have a December meeting either. Stop 29 is being completed. It's not quite done yet, but that boardwalk and the stairs are being finished. So it's almost done. That's it.
Thank you. Community Center, Anita.
Community Center met January 5th. The kitchen, the ceiling was painted, the cabinets and sink have been purchased. They'll be installed sometime in February. Susan Vissing, who holds the girlfriend sale, is looking at using the courtyard room even more in 2026. She is also entering into a new lease that's on our agenda for room 10 at $500 a month. And room 10, which is the table tennis group, will be moving into room 9. And Chief has an update on what's being done in room 9.
Last week when we met with the community center management team, the discussion was that of moving the table tennis room over to room 9 to accommodate Susan's request to have a second suite within the community center. So we've been working on getting that accomplished before February 1st so that Susan can take possession of the room with the new lease. Jim Nyalub with our community center management team has proposed to the committee that the table tennis players would be willing to donate to have a new vinyl plank flooring installed in room 9 prior to moving their table tennis equipment over to that room. They have already taken the initiative to remove the previous carpeting that was in the room. That was done at no cost to the town. They are proposing that we purchase new vinyl plank flooring from Lowe's that is currently on sale. The cost of that would be approximately $3,200 to $3,500 when you look at the vinyl planking and the cove base that would be needed for that room. Jim informed me today, we had a discussion reference this, that he feels pretty confident that he would be able to raise approximately $1,500 or more towards this purchase. And then they also have an installer that is going to provide the installation of the new flooring at no cost to the town. So I just wanted to inform the council this evening that as part of our capital project initiative for 2026 for the community center, We would like to move forward with this project, unless there's any objection this evening, to purchase the flooring at Lowe's. We would place it on our town account at Lowe's. And then as the donations come in from the table tennis group, I would notify Clerk Collins of the donations that could be utilized to pay for the expenditure that of the purchase at Lowe's. We may even get lucky enough that we get enough donations to cover the entire cost, but Jim's pretty confident that he can at least come up with half of the cost. And again, it's a huge savings to the town. Just on the installation alone, there's approximately 1,100 square feet in that room. Typically, the cost for installation is anywhere between $2 to $3 a square foot for the installation. So we're probably saving at least $3,000 on the installation as well. And then that room, it just recently was painted 2 weeks ago. So the ceiling was painted, the walls have been painted, and now if we put the new flooring in, that room will have a pretty good transformation in there. So any questions from the council reference moving forward with that project?
I think it kind of goes along. The community center team has been doing a good job of really, working through every room over there bit by looking at the budget. I mean, just going back to the accessible bathroom. I mean, there are some big ticket items that remain, but at least getting the rooms done, and the fact that the table tennis group is putting in the work. It reminded me of Stop 16, where the residents kind of get together and say, this is what we'd like to do. And so this is just it's a big thing that they're willing to help, and they're willing to raise money, and they enjoy the use of the community center. And that's what I've been hearing from, I know that, a couple of friends of Colleen's and Meg's, and they were over there and using it with the kids. And it's really just great to be over there and hear voices and people, and it's really it's getting to be a more vibrant place, in addition to just the Y. So it's great.
Jim did want me to share that the table tennis room is also open to the public. It's just not for the group that typically plays in there every week. The key is available in the YMCA, and that anyone can utilize that room as well. So to any of the residents or anybody watching tonight. The only other thing on the community center report I'd like to add is that in front of you tonight, I placed the letter that was sent out today. Actually, I hand delivered it to all the tenants at the community center. It's in reference to the cost of heating the building over the winter months. Last month, for the month of December, we just received our NIPSCO bill. Between the increase in the NIPSCO cost and then the extremely cold weather that we experienced in the month of December, our utility bills were nearly $5,700 for the month, several thousands of dollars more than the previous month. So we're asking our tenants, and we provided them some guidance as to where we would like them to set the heating for the winter months. And thus far, we've had some really good cooperation and good feedback from our tenants. They understand the urgency of, cutting back on the heating. And we also lowered the temperature in the hallway. So if you are in the community center, I did notice it when I was there today. It is a significant difference from where last week when I was in the hallways compared to today. You can tell that we obviously lowered the temperature in the hallway. But everybody I see there that's either walking or visiting either has a sweater or a jacket on, and we just have to do it to keep the cost down, because otherwise we're going to exceed our budget this year for the utilities in that building. So.
And it's something that the team, particularly one of the team members, has been looking at. Doug Wickstrom has been looking at this for more than a few years and has been actively trying to work with NIPSCO in terms of, he kind of digs into not just how can we reduce costs, but looking into units and how, he's got a whole thing that he's got going about where things are higher and lower and how he can talk to NIPSCO. So it's not just, the thermostat helps, but again, the team is really trying to figure out what we can do over there.
Do we need a motion? Or
Wouldn't hurt just to support the project, and then I can let the committee know that we would like to move forward, but we appreciate the support.
Okay, first I'd like to say, it's nice that we have a retired flooring guy that plays table tennis. But I would make a motion to approve this project.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Budget and Finance, Meg?
We met on January 6th, and the December bank recs were completed. Revenue and expense reports and fund projections were distributed to council and department heads. The capital plan will be updated before next month's meeting. Q4 reporting was completed today. Year-end reporting is being worked on, and the annual financial report is due at the end of February. Year-end reporting includes the printing and distributing of W-2s to all employees and 1099 to vendors. And in review of 2025, which it was part of the meeting that we had, we went through the projections, and most funds ended with a slightly higher balance than last year, unless it related specifically to the capital projects that we used some of those balances for. And those are planned projects and expenses like new vehicles. We did the road paving project. We finished paying the stormwater project from the prior year. So there's, various projects and planned things that go on throughout each year, mostly based on our capital plan. I did want to make a note that we did notice that our collection rate on property taxes was very high. So thank you to our residents for paying their taxes very timely. So according to our advisor, that's doesn't happen everywhere. So that helps us move along and do what we do as the town, right? And then also thank you to our department heads for underspending on their budgets. And this fiscal responsibility will help the town be in a better position to weather this SEA 1 legislation that we have heard about and will keep hearing about, and it will continue to have impacts in the next few years. Our next meeting will be held February 3rd at 11 a.m. Any questions?
Nope.
Thanks.
Thank you. Human Resources, Cindy?
We did not meet in December, but we will be meeting on January 21st at 9:30 a.m.
Thank you. Tree Board, Alan?
We did meet in December. We went over the tree list. That's all been going on. The parks have already started doing their work over here across the street. Chief kind of hit on that. Other than that, just writing an article for the newsletter that Kayla always does, but we also lost a member. Jane Kroll passed away on December 24th. I guess she was sick. She was sick for a while. She had reached out and said that her health was really poor, and she passed away. So I did make a donation to the Service League of Michigan City in her name from the tree board. So it's a little something. So she was a character and knew a lot. So she'll be missed, but she had a good life. So, and that's any questions? No.
Just a huge thank you to Jane.
Yeah, a huge thing. Yeah, she always knew how to stir the pot.
Okay, thank you, Ellen. The Building Commission met on December 12th. No permits were approved. Permits denied were 2926 Glendale Way for increasing nonconformity and 1704 Story Ave for a new garage in the setback. That was it for Building Commission. The BZA will meet January 21st. There's a preliminary hearing for 3007 Northmore to put elevated decks in the rear yard, and a public hearing for 1616 Lakeshore Drive for a home that was demolished, but they want to rebuild their nonconformities. Any questions? APC, Anita.
Advisory Plan Commission Our December 15th meeting was canceled because we met in December 1st. We met earlier than usual. Our survey was approved and adopted. Our survey to update the 2016 comprehensive plan of the town. It was approved by the APC and it is ready to go out to all the residents. We're hoping it will go in the mail on or about January 21st. We're sending it out with a cover letter. We are sending it out by mail so that it will go to everybody whose address is listed with the water department, sometimes multiple addresses. We're trying to reach all the residents, and in spite of the cost, that's the best way to do it. The cover letter will also include a QR code, so you can scan it, use the QR code to reply to it. You can answer it on the paper form and mail it back to the town, drop it off at the town. We will have some copies here available if you lose it, but we're hoping to get as many responses as we can. It's important to see what people think about the questions that have been formulated. It's recommended that the comprehensive plans and towns be updated every 10 years. Some towns it's longer, some towns it's sooner, depending. So we're happy with what APC, the committee members have come up with, and look for it in your mail in the next couple of weeks, and please respond. And our next meeting is January 19th, and it's already been canceled. It's a holiday, and apparently there's something else going on at Indiana University. So I think I was going to be the only one at the meeting.
I think so.
Yeah. Maybe.
Thank you. Moving on to unfinished business, Lakeshore Sewer LLC, myself, Kendra, and Chris have a meeting with them set up for next Monday at 3 p.m. Town signs, got anything, Kendra?
No, I hope to have an update. Meeting.
Okay. Future Lakeshore Drive paving project update. We all received this 50-page document here. And we all still need some time to review it. So what we really need to do is set a meeting, a special meeting for next week after we've all had time to review this, and we'll have Haas there, and we can ask any questions, because we've got to determine which one of these options we want to go with. We'll have it at a public meeting. Chief, if Kayla can put this on the website, the whole document. And if we can pick a day next week that works for everybody, it can be during the day. I don't care. I'm pretty open except for Monday.
I think Haas would prefer if we could do it during the day since their staff are around, because I think at least Sam and Ryan will want to be present as well for any questions.
I'm available any day except the 27th until about 2:00. So otherwise I'm available. The week of the 26th, you're talking, right?
Next week.
Oh, no.
Next week.
Yeah. Oh,
No.
the 19th.
19th.
Oh, okay. All
So
right.
either the 20th, 21st, 22nd.
I'm available any of those. Kendra?
I'm only available the 21st.
We have HR at 9:30. Can we do it before or after that?
I'm available.
Or I'm available the 23rd, Friday. All the. Or but that, that's.
So we could go, do you think if we met at 8, would that be, or?
I don't know if Haas wants to meet.
I think we need probably at least 2 hours for the meeting just to be safe.
Like HR probably wouldn't be more than an hour.
Well,
Say 11 o'clock on the 21st.
we can move HR as well.
All right, well.
We can
could-
push HR an hour back if Mark's.
11 o'clock on the 21st?
Or should we move it up or back? Like move it to the afternoon or?
Well, what time did you guys want this meeting at?
Pardon me?
What time in the morning would you want the Haas meeting?
Like 10 or 11.
Okay.
10 would be great for me, but I could do 11, but I work for 10.
Cindy, you want to do HR then, like at 1 or 1:30 that day?
Actually, I'm not sure I can.
We
Yeah.
could do it at like 9 before, but is that too many meetings in a row?
Doesn't matter.
Let's try and do it before. Get it from 9 to 10. I think
Okay.
that should work out.
I'm sorry, what was that, Cindy? 9 to 10?
Okay. 10 a.m. on the 21st.
Mhm.
And is this meeting open to the public? Post
Yes.
it on?
It's open to the public. So
We need to
if you could
notice
get
it. Yep.
Noticed, and
Mhm.
we'll get the document on the website, and that's, as good as we can do.
I'll get a message.
21st,
out to
10 a.m.
HR tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, next, this says second reading of ordinance, but this ordinance hasn't been read yet. So,
Okay, so I can amend that to be first reading.
No.
It shouldn't be anything at this point. It's still under
It was
construction.
just,
We
it
talked
was
about
just
it, but
given
we
to council
didn't
last,
vote on it.
right?
And yeah, there's still some
We don't have the
determinations.
fees or anything
Okay.
in it, so
So this is not even a reading, just a
Right.
discussion.
this isn't ready yet. MOU with the town of Michiana Shores reference the sale of road. Chief?
The memorandum of understanding that's before you just memorializes the sale of salt to the town of Michiana Shores on an annual basis at the set price of $450 per load. The goal here is to have our council approve it this evening, and then I'll present it, send it over to the clerk treasurer. They meet tomorrow, hopefully to have it on their agenda for approval and get the signature from their president.
Thank you. I would make a motion to approve the MOU for road salt supply with Michiana Shores.
Second that.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Moving on to new business. First, we have the appointment of board and committee members for 2026. I would like to ask, we've got a lot of committees. A lot of them have certain terms. Some of them are annual. Some of them are 4-year. Some of them are 2-year. I would like to ask all the committee chairs, and I'll send them an email tomorrow, to let us know if there's anyone on their committees that's either wants to come off, needs to come off, or their terms are up and they don't want to continue, or their terms are up and they want to continue. So if they could give us all that information before our next meeting, at our Friday or our February meeting, then we can have a list of openings. And once we have the list of openings, then we'll ask for people who want to fill those positions and to give us the little mini resume that we usually require, and we'll go from there.
Joy, could I also ask if you know that a meeting date and or time is going to change, that you email Deanna and I, because we do all meetings for the year with the paper, and then we need to get the website calendar in order?
Okay, I will ask them that as well.
Okay. So currently we would keep the same meetings, dates and times unless we are told otherwise. So the sooner we know that, the better.
Okay, I'll tell them we're getting ready to populate the calendar, and if they have any changes, to let us know.
Thanks.
2026,
Oh, and sorry, one last thing. When we do committee reports at this meeting, if everybody could make an effort to send your notes so that we can just put them with. So whatever you read, for example, if we like on community center, if that's not too much to ask, if it's simple enough to email it, or if, however you do it, if it's just handwritten, that's fine. But if you happen to have something to submit, we would just ask for you to submit that and we'll keep it with our monthly packet.
So by Friday.
I suppose you want our handwritten things to be legible as well.
It's okay either way.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that should be a problem.
And then also one more reminder. If you are the head of the board or anybody listening or who might listen, it is best if we designate somebody to do minutes and get those minutes submitted for the record as well each month. So maybe a reminder of that.
Okay. Okay,
That's the, I want to be a little more stern than Meg is being. It wouldn't be best, it's required. And especially since last year when moved to electronic meetings for everybody, and then there has to be an archive and then a link to agendas and minutes. Everybody should be doing that, and you're required to have links to those. So it would be better than best. It's necessary.
Thanks, Chris.
okay. Thanks, Chris. 2026 lease agreement for community center room number 10 with Susan Bissing beginning February 1st.
Susan Vissing currently is a tenant in room number 11 and has been for some time. And she also generously gives back to the community center every year after her girlfriend sales. She is wanting to expand her business and take on a second suite at the community center, that being room 10. Through our discussions and after discussions with the community center management team, we have come to the recommendation of $500 per month for that space. The nice thing about this is room 10 is only going to require some deep cleaning and no major renovations. So no painting, no new flooring, the typical things that we would do for a new tenant. Susan is fine with just going in, doing some general cleaning and taking over the lease on February 1st for $500 a month. So therefore you have in front of you a lease agreement for room 10, which would then have Susan with separate lease agreements for room 10 and 11 for the year of 2026.
I would move to approve.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? I do have one question. Her she's going to be doing more things in the courtyard room.
Yes.
What happens if she's got things in there and someone wants to rent the room?
Very good question. We had that discussion. I just need to give her a couple days notice in advance, and then she would be willing to clear those items out. We've kind of had a gentleman's agreement thus far that she can utilize the courtyard room throughout the year unless we anticipate a need for the courtyard room, and then she'll move anything out as needed. But otherwise, she plans on utilizing the room more this year, and for that use, she's going to donate more to the community center this year as well. So we'll see some additional revenue. We did discuss possibly a lease agreement on it, but then after discussion with the management team and with Susan, we thought this year for 2026, we would kind of be fluid. Let's see how it works out. And then maybe moving into 27, we would look at a potential agreement, setting something in stone. But the room is available, the courtyard room, if somebody needs to use it.
Okay, thank you. Any more discussion?
I don't really have a discussion, just a comment and a question. What does she, do you know off the top of your head what she does donate back to the, you don't have to.
Last 2025, I know at least one time she gave $250 cash back, and then she just donated all of the vinyl floor planking that's going to be going into the kitchen outside of the gym. We just have to pay for the cost of installation, but Susan donated, there had to be probably a dozen boxes of flooring that will cover that entire floor in there. And that's probably, I don't know, $1,500 maybe just for that flooring. So those are two things I can think of for 2025.
Okay. I was just curious. And then I wonder what?
I could just add, I know when she uses the courtyard room, I believe She donates $75. I don't know if that's each time though, or if it's, I'm
It
not
is.
sure.
I think it's
Uh,
every weekend that she uses.
and
it.
Deanna does keep a spreadsheet that has all of it if you did want to look at it. I don't know it off the top of my head, but
And
I do know we have a spreadsheet.
And Kendra, she did hire a cleaning company to come in and clean the windows in the entire courtyard last year and then the hallways at no cost to the town. And she picked up the cost of that as well.
Yeah, no, she's been a great tenant. I just was curious about what the donation, but I would love to, maybe I should come to the community center meeting and make the suggestion there, but I don't know. I would just love to see that courtyard room stay open always, and maybe that's where people could play cards, and that could, like, it's the best room in the community center. You get light, you can look at the beautiful courtyard that the garden club takes care of. Like, I'm glad that she gives us money when she uses it, but I wonder if there's another room that could be purposed for that storage of this, like, to have the best room in the community center be just overflow. I just feel like we could come up with a better use. Somebody asked me the other day about like where to play cards or what to do. And I was thinking, gosh, that if that courtyard room could just be open 24/7 with like a game table and a couch and like a Keurig coffee maker, just for people like when they're walking the halls, if they want to then just take a break, sit down, chit chat, like, you know, and just a thought. I'd love to see that room be used. It's, you know, my old library and stuff, but
No, it's a great suggestion. And the committee discussed kind of renovations for the courtyard room. We want to paint that room. We actually got a quote for painting the room. And then also we were looking at putting new vinyl plank flooring in that room, similar to what was done in room 3 last year as well. So right now, I think we're trying to raise some revenue from the use of the courtyard room and then turn around and use that revenue to make some improvements to the courtyard room. But no, I would agree that it has potential. And I think that's one of the things we're working on as one of our capital projects
Awesome.
for that room.
okay, thanks.
I don't know if we voted on that motion.
No, we haven't.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. We have 2 Haas and Associates invoices for payment approval. Invoice number 19 for $1,526.25 for the 2024-2 CCMG. And invoice number 2024374-06 for $34,998.75 for the Long Beach Lakeshore Drive conceptual design.
I would make a motion that we pay those 2 invoices as listed.
Well, I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? From the building department, we've got a new house definition and a change in the definitions for an accessory building. And we're going to send these are both zoning issues, and we're going to send these to the APC for discussion. But they originated at the building commission. Could put it on your agenda, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks. Hazards in the town right away. I've thought about it for the last month since we talked about it, and I don't know the answer. I think there are things that we're going to have to tackle one at a time. They're everywhere. I mean, everywhere. So
Did I miss this discussion at the last meeting? What kind of hazards? I mean, are we talking about like
timbers that are up to the road,
Oh, gotcha. Like,
things like that.
Rocks.
That'll be, they're hazardous for the plows,
yeah, gotcha.
that kind of stuff. I mean,
Rocks.
there are
boulders.
encroachments everywhere,
Yep.
so we clearly can't
Rocks, boulders.
fix those, but things that are in the way of the plow, I think we should start identifying them somehow, and tackle them one at a time. I don't know how else to do it. They're all so different.
Maybe we can make the tree board and hazard board. Tree and hazard board.
I would say, I would think the first person to ask would be like Tom and his group, because they're out and probably have the most, they're the ones that have to maneuver the plow around it the most. Like they would probably be the ones that know these are the ones that cause us the most trouble and the ones that are the most concerning. Maybe start there. And then do we just have like a Google Doc or something that Kayla can keep, and if we see stuff, we send it to Kayla to go on the list or something? I mean, I just think Tom and those guys see everything the first.
You've got a cup.
Where people have put boulders because they don't want people to park there, and pots and
Mhm.
creative different things. Okay. Yeah, we got to tell them to get them out of there. That,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's decorative, like,
no,
I mean,
it's,
there are people that line the street, right? I mean, along the street with rocks and boulders.
I know. 'Cause
Story
I remember
Avenue.
asking Chief about it because I actually put signs up, no parking, like in front of mine. And that was because I couldn't get my mail because all the trucks for the homes across the street from me, they keep doing stuff. And it was basically for that, which I'm going to pull them out because I don't care who parks there. But yeah, a lot of people have stuff there because they think it's their land, because I can, anytime anyone complains about it, I'm always saying it's not your property, so whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, it should be taken. And there's a lot of underground. I mean, I imagine Tom gets that too, because some of the rocks have sunk and there's now grass over them, and, over where Cochler is, there's all kinds of rocks under all that grass, and yeah, and it gets to be a little much. And if you're going to widen, you're going to have to, I don't know, but make a list.
Okay, Chief.
People will be happy to tell you where all the problems are.
Chief, maybe you could talk to Tom and, if he can give us a few spots to start with, and we'll handle it that way, see how that works.
As you're doing that though, before you move on, yeah, I think you just have to be careful that it's uniform and not arbitrary, right? And that it's not selective enforcement, but that you have some way to try to, because that's gonna be a hornet's nest.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You do also have other tools, for instance, an order that you can issue that the building commission uses often that gives them 10 days to remove it, or otherwise the town can do it at their expense and put a lien on the property that, you potentially could submit to the county to put on tax bills. So ways to recoup your costs versus spending just the town's resources. So I know it's not an easy one, and I know this has been something that's been discussed, and some are long-standing ones too. So
Yeah.
Maybe like what we just did on Northmore, where the timbers were, and they were, I think if I recall, they were agreeable to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, they
right, where they were agreeable to moving them.
And
So
that actually might be
be,
the case of, rather than just showing up, sending them correspondence, they did respond, they did agree, and
right, rather than like you said, getting Tom involved unless there's something
No, I
egregious.
just
that
want to involve Tom to identify the
Yeah.
spots.
He'd be the one that
Something,
Yeah.
yeah,
it in his head.
terrible.
One other thing is just being here for 10 years and all that. Most people think that's their land.
Mhm.
And that's why they've done it. I think before you do any, you can start making a list of everything. I think put something in the newsletter and stuff like that. That is town property. People can park there. The police do not ticket people. I've actually said that to people because they think they can call the police and get people to move their cars if they've come and parked in front of their place, especially in the summer when they go down to the beach and all that. And it's like, no, it's not your land, so.
and I don't know that that's as easy as that answer either, because there are different kinds of rights of way.
Yeah.
Right? And so Long Beach is somewhat unique in that some roads and rights of way were deeded to the town. Others are more easement in nature. So in fact, it is their property, subject to.
I guess maybe I'm just talking about Lakeshore
Well, that's
Drive.
why, but I want to make sure that wherever we're doing that, that we make sure that it's not just an easement type right of way, because that could be as well. And then a homeowner actually does get to use their property as long as they don't stop the town's right to use the right of way. So that's where this nuance, and I want to make sure, because even this discussion, right, of it's the town's property, it may or may not be. The town may own it, the town may just have the right to use it, and otherwise the homeowner retains the right to use it as they see fit, provided that the town, it doesn't impose on the town's right of way. And
Right,
and
so
then
what
if
you're,
the-
right now, we're just making a list on what's imposing on the town's right away.
of what we think does, right, and then verify.
To verify.
How do we verify that? I mean, you know,
We're gonna have to see if there's any deeds, and actually, when I first started, Pete has a good summary of rights of way and some of those, so we can verify that, but it's important because there is a nuance between the deeded road that the town actually does own the entire right of way, and then others that are just more easement in nature.
okay.
Public comment again.
Oh, Joy, we have the Sender Dalton
The
contract.
Sender Dalton contract is last on our list,
Okay.
that Meg just
Oh,
gave
yeah.
us. I would make a motion to approve Sender Dalton for 2026.
I would second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And since we had a Zoom problem earlier, is anyone on Zoom like to make a public comment?
Yes, please. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, it's Mary O'Neill, 1532 Lakeshore Drive. I have a few comments. First and foremost, I'm sorry that you went to a change where there were comments before a meeting as opposed to after the meeting. In some respects, it seems like, oh, maybe they'll forget before the next meeting when they want to make a comment. I don't know why we can't go to the old way where there were comments post-meeting, number one. Then my other comment is, in the last couple of meetings, it was talked about the lobbyist, and we're renewing their contract. What does this lobbyist do, and what is the town, what are the taxpayers paying? Maybe that's something that should be on the website. That seems to be something that could be a little more available for us to see. Third, every month there has been a lot of discussion adhering to the results of the state audit and why were not those results and subsequent things put on the website. It would appear to me that that is why Trista/Sender remains on the retainer to help the town clerk, even though the town clerk was given a huge raise when after the last election. And it seems like now our monthly outside accounting fees are equal to our legal fees, which both, in my opinion, are too high. Number four, I believe there is a federal lawsuit involving the prior town council. And I know you can't divulge stuff because it is a lawsuit, but what is this costing the taxpayers? Also, Stop 16, or 18, I'm sorry, which was just repaired earlier this fall, late summer, fall by Haas to help with drainage. I'm sure you all saw some photos of that stop, and if this is indicative of Haas being able to get the drainage with Lakeshore Drive and rebuilding the road, I have concerns regarding that, since we've never put for outside bids and Haas always seems to get the bid. And then lastly, even though Meg helped me several times this summer, I am still not receiving the town newsletters. I have to make sure I go on at least once a week to get the newsletters. I know there was supposed to be a new website, and I hope that maybe that improves. I've gone on and tried to take myself off, put myself on, still not receiving things. And then lastly, I was very sorry that there are no part-time residents allowed to be on committees, that one must be a full-time resident. With Zoom, as we're using tonight, there probably really is no good reason for that. And it does limit your pool of people that would be willing and able to serve.
Thank you, Mary. Your 3 minutes are up.
That's perfect. I was all done. I timed it myself. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other comments on Zoom? Hearing none, do we have any council comments? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Make the motion.
Oh, I thought you made the motion. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you, everyone.